Perhaps you're going at the moment through a breakup. Maybe someone left you, or maybe you left someone because that person was not good for you. And that is painful. That is freakingly painful. It can feel like someone pulled your heart out of your chest, stepped on it, burned it, put it back. And on the same time, someone's dying that you love. And I can know, because I am just going through my own breakup after 7 years with an engagement, and I know how painful it is. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. My name is Koen Walstra, and in this video I'm going to share one of the things that I did right away after my breakup, and that really helped me to shift the way that I think about my breakup. And in the last couple of years, I actually always used this and did this after something really tough happened in my life where I didn't have control over. And I really hope that it also can help you in your path out of your breakup. And I will be honest, this is not gonna take the pain away, because I believe that with a breakup, we have to go also through the emotions that come with the breakup, and this takes time. But what I know from own experience is that it can be extremely powerful to shift the way that we think about a situation. In our lives, we don't always have influence on what happens to us. And the breakup is a very good example of something that is a very painful thing, but where we do not have control over. If someone left you and took another path, we cannot control the other person's behavior. And this can be very, I would say, frustrating and painful. But one thing we have always influence about is the way we want to think consciously about a situation. That doesn't mean that we don't feel pain in our body or sadness or anger or whatever emotion, but we have always an influence about how we consciously choose to look at a situation. And for me, it already made such a big difference in the last years in several situations, and also in this breakup, how I choose myself, that I want to think about the breakup or about the situation. And I will explain in a moment how I choose to think, and also how I handle with it. But think for a moment about this, right? Look, you go through a breakup and it is very painful. And that's something we don't have so much control over. But we can then think in that situation consciously if we want to be completely the victim in the situation, see it for instance as a failure. I did that in the past, or want to think about it in a different way. For instance, thinking, okay, this is a lesson where I can learn something from, or I hope that I come better out of this situation, or that I trust that I'm gonna grow from this situation. So we always have an influence on how we want to think about a situation. And when you think about what you want to think consciously about the situation, it's also very good to think about which intentions do you want to put for the breakup. For instance, I want to give myself a lot of love during this period, or I want to do good things for myself. And so how I handle this is right after my breakup, or actually when after the moment that something happens to me where I don't have control over, I just take a notebook, a pen and paper, and I write. I'm just sitting by myself for a moment, and I start thinking, okay, how do I want consciously to think about this situation? And I just took my paper that I have written myself, and I also have written a couple of things under there that might help you. But I will give a couple of examples. So for me in my life, growth, spiritual growth, mental growth is one of the most important things. And even though the breakup is an extremely painful thing to go through, it also gives me an opportunity to grow. So for instance, the first thing that I have on this list is I want to see it as an opportunity for growth. This doesn't have to be for you, but this is one that, for instance, is for me very important. And the same is, for instance, because I make YouTube videos, I've written on there that I can use this situation to learn and to share my experience with others, and that I can help others during and after I got through this. So at this moment, I can start helping others with my experiences and with help for me to get forward. For instance, I also have one of the things that I have here that's an intention is, for instance, I want to keep my heart as open. So the channel is called Hands on Heart, and I believe that self-love and opening our heart more and more is one of the best things we can do for ourselves. So I truly try during this breakup to keep my heart open. And sometimes that's very hard because when intense emotions comes up, we quite often have this feeling to close down. And every time I try to sit with myself, open up again. Another thing is, for instance, I want to focus on the things that I am grateful for out of the relationship. For instance, an example of that is that I had a huge binding fears. And through this last relationship of 7 years, I grow over it. And this is something that I'm very grateful for. But a couple of things that might help you, for instance, is just write down something, like this is something that I've also been thinking about, and maybe this can help you, is, for instance, writing down, I want to be with someone that truly chooses me. Because the moment that someone doesn't want to be with us, it means that person doesn't choose for us, and maybe doesn't, so it's not 100% in there with their heart, and you do deserve it to be with someone that truly chooses you. And I know that that person is out there. Now, for instance, another one, it could be, I try to trust to come out of this stronger. And an intention that you could put is, for instance, that I take time for myself and do things that are really good for me. So think about maybe things that before the relationship were really good for you. And try to give yourself that love, and also try to just do really good things that are good for you. For instance, another one, I'm gonna take good care of myself. That could also be an intention. And another one could be, I'm willing to go through my emotions. To not push them away, but to see them and go through there. And another one could be, I can learn to love myself even more. This is something that I've been looking up at quite a bit, and I've been looking, for instance, at, okay, do I actually give myself the love that I expected from the other person? Can I also give that love to myself? And in my own experience, truly thinking about what you want to think about the situation, the tough situation, in this case the breakup, maybe even thinking about what can I take out of it for myself, and also putting intentions can be extremely helpful. It will not take the pain away, and we still have to go through the process of the breakup. But what I do with this list is, first of all, thinking about it. Our thoughts have a lot of power, so they are very powerful. So the moment that we think about how we want to see it, it can already make a shift in our mind. Secondly, I have this paper laying by my bed, and I quite often look at it in the morning or throughout of the day. But in the meantime, I don't try to push the emotions or the process of my breakup away. So in the meantime, I just go through all the emotions. If there's sadness, I cry. If there's anger, I just feel this anger. But then after I've gone through these emotions, I take the paper and I say, okay, and how do I want to think consciously about it? And it just really resets my focus. And and just because you put your focus also on that, for me, it makes it easier. So I truly hope that this tip can help you as well during your breakup. I wish you a lot of strength during this period, and I'm sending you all my love. And if you like this video, please write in the comments other tips, things that help you during your breakup. Please also like my video and subscribe to my channel to see more videos where I share tips about the way I go through my breakup. And I wish you an amazing day and hope to see you in one of my next videos.